back!
Third episode on the same day, baby. 3 weeks worth of channel content.
Aren't you content?
So last Sunday, it was Kalken Retro Dungeon, which is in Flanders, I think, the biggest convention of solely retro games.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Probably, yeah. So I got me some stuff. Most of it was stocked.
Yeah, you always do that.
Yeah, deals in advance, and then you just meet up at the convention.
You almost never buy anything unplanned.
I bought 3 things unplanned. 4 things, sorry. 4, 5. Yeah, man.
How do you go from 3 to 5?
Well, let me tell you. Well, the first thing was a trade I did with some guy for some old ColecoVision games. The Smurfs. I used to have this one, but I traded it with Bithead 1000, another YouTuber, for Genesis 3. And then also some pretty cool Ghostbusters, the real Ghostbusters figurines.
This is really a lovely game.
Yeah, I like it too. I'm not saying it's the best game, but it's a good game.
It's also one of the last NES games. 94.
Yeah, it's pretty late. Yeah, it's true. And it still sold pretty well because it's not an expensive title. You find it a lot. Yeah, the label is a bit damaged there.
I got it too. Great game. It's funny that it still says 1985 on the copyright.
Yeah, it's always the same. Strider, which I traded with Niels Newcomb for 12 euros. So I bought it actually.
You traded it for 12 euros?
So I bought it. Yeah, it's probably not the best version of Strider, but it's a version I did not yet have.
And because you always have money burning in your pocket.
I always have.
God forbid you should go 1 week without buying anything.
Yes, God forbid. Yeah, these were bought by Mike Spaceword for me. These are those limited run games.
Yeah, nobody likes them. Nobody plays them.
Comic Star Heroine and Sayonara Umikara Kawase. So this is a remake of a SNES game. And a pretty cool one at that. And a really expensive SNES game, so that's why I got the Vita version. One moment there. This was 18 euros in total, the stack. And it's God of War, the collection, volume 1 and 2. So these are the original PS2 games, and these are the PSP games. But
I don't understand why you... do you like the Essentials, the layout?
No, I hate it, but it's not my favorite game, and I want them, so now I can just sell the PS2 copies and have smaller boxes. And these are HD, so... And 2 American Genesis or Mega Drive games. Pink Goes to Hollywood, which is a cover I think is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And King's Bounty, which is like a Electronic Arts RPG. Looks pretty sweet as well. Both missing their manual. But
is it a good game?
Probably not.
It's funny, they do like riffs on famous movies. Polter Pink, Pinkenstein and Jungle Pink. Great.
And like the days before, just a couple of days before Kalken, people start to unload stuff in Facebook groups, so they hope to generate some cash while they're there. So for 10 apiece, I got Samurai Showdown on the Mega Drive and Dungeons and Dragons Warriors of the Eternal Sun. This guy collected Mega Drive games for a year, and now he's tired of it. So, but 10 apiece is a pretty decent price. Also, both missing their manual. So now we get to the actual meat of the purchase. These were games which were all purchased at Kalken.
The meat of the meat.
The meat of the meat. This probably is the best deal. Shining Wisdom, complete in box with manual and everything. I paid 40 on eBay. This is easily a 70 to 90 euro game. So, and actually bought it at a store's booth. So pretty
How
good.
come it was so?
Well, it's the guy from the Used to Use store in Saint-Nicolas.
Oh yes.
And then I talked with him a lot, and he was
he was super friendly.
Yeah.
He gave me his card, and he
He's such a cock.
no. He told me he has a full collection of Dino Riders in box.
Ooh, that will be expensive.
Yeah, he bought them when it was still doable. Let's say doable. Yeah. And at one point, he even had doubles for everything.
Oh.
But then he sold off his doubles. So I was like,
generate some
no.
cash.
But for example, he was selling on the booth. He was selling the T-Rex without any accessories, but still the T-Rex is, as you guys, well, if you know it, if you're a Dino Rider fan, it's like this big, and just €20. That's a good price for just the full T-Rex. Even with
you're poor.
Well, poor indeed, and also I want the box, so yeah,
of course.
But yeah, 20 is a good price because really, I mean, I checked just a few days ago. Sometimes online it goes for 90, just T-Rex. 90,
really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Because it's also motorized, so it walks. It's cool.
Well, I always go. Well, the 3 times I've been to his store, I go and I see the price.
We should go for the mini discs. Yeah.
I go there and I see the prices are marked pretty high, and I always think like I don't dare to ask, like, because it's a store, it's different. But actually, when you buy something, he always gives great discounts. He has like Motu and Masters of the Universe vehicles still in the box and everything. And just like the store is filled with stuff. Like
I should really go there.
Yeah.
The thing is.
The thing.
So the Motus are sealed or
it's a vehicle.
They've been opened before.
I don't know. It was on top of a shelf.
Yeah. No, but I mean, I should go there. But you told me about the mini discs, and for example, you know that he has Dangerous from Michael Jackson, which is my favorite album from Michael Jackson. So I want the mini disc. I got the cassette, got the vinyl, got the CD. But yeah, he wanted like 125 for it. I mean, there's no way that I'm gonna pay 125. So even with a discount, I mean, like the best I could do is maybe like €90. But that's still way out of my price league for a mini disc. I mean, I would like pay 15 or 20, you know.
You can always ask.
I'm down here, but yeah, well.
But it's a cool store just to visit. I mean,
I really want to go there.
But because this game, it's strange. I just took it out of the store shelves, but I don't remember seeing it there. So the store is crammed full with stuff. Crammed with crap.
Crammed with crap.
For example, the sign that stands outside the store that is open is like the old Nokia 3300, like a big plastic cell phone. So, from Renzo, I bought 2 more Saturn games. And Sonic R, which is an ill-fated Sonic game by Traveler's Tales.
Is it a good game?
I don't know, it looks pretty good, but apparently it's not that great, but I don't know.
It's like a racing game, right?
So more like, just collecting rings and racing against other time attack and stuff like that. And this one also looks pretty cool. Crusader, No Remorse. Looks like an isometric action game. I paid 45 for the 2 of them. And as you can see, I put... this one was in a protective case, but I put the Shining Wisdom in a protective case because the early Saturn European cases are really crap. But this is a later one and it's a plastic one and it's quite nice.
Do you know why there's so many different cases? I mean, this looks like a VHS, that one looks like a CD.
This is the original, then came this, and EA always does something different.
Do you know why? No.
Because they're EA. It's in the game.
Why are they always different?
Because they started like that on the Mega Drive, and
they like doing
things I think different. So.
And then the biggest different thing they did was like not release any games for the Dreamcast, which caused the Dreamcast to fail.
Well, I don't know if that was the main
reason. There's a lot of people blaming EA for it.
But because it's not the main reason.
Because if you don't have FIFA, how can you win?
Yeah, but no, it's true, but I don't think that's the only reason why it failed. They were mad because EA really supported the Saturn through to the end, and even longer than Sega themselves. So they were pissed at Sega for ditching the Saturn too early. And I bought another game, NBA Live 97, and this guy had like 20 of these, and it was just €1. So I just couldn't.
Damn, I should have bought it.
Yeah, I couldn't resist. Mel, you probably have some more next year. I mean,
the original price is still 13. So
yeah, but that's not his label. I don't know where he got it from.
So do you know why it was so? How did he even?
No, I didn't ask.
How did he even find 20 copies of this?
And at the same booth, I found this game, Arena, which is a really cool Game Gear game. It's like an action shooter, and it's pretty expensive game. It's I don't know the exact price, but I paid 6, which is sweet. The PAL version, the PAL, it's not PAL because it's a handheld. The European version is also more expensive than the USA version. And then I come to my last pickup from Kalken, also talked about in advance, Mega Man X. In the box, a USA version.
What did you have to do for it? Show your poopy butthole?
Yes, show my poopy butthole. This was a strange story. So somebody posted it on a Facebook group for 40 euros, which is an excellent price. And the first guy in line, he said, the box looks a bit too creased. And I was like, sweet, I'm second in line. So immediately I bought it. And indeed, the box is a bit like beat up, but it's still okay, I think. So now I can sell my Japanese copy, and because I have an English copy now. Yay!
So how much can you sell the Japanese one for?
I don't know, 10 euros maybe max. It's not worth much, the Japanese copy.
Well, then all we have is my Kalken pickups.
Yes.
Well, I'm not one of those guys who does things. I've never done that, things in advance. No, really. I mean, I'm not a member of that many Facebook groups as you are. Well, anyway, I mean, I just had no advanced deals. So I just went as a visitor.
You are not advanced.
Yeah, true. I'm a Game Boy, but I'm not advanced. So you asked me, shall we go to Kalken? And
Yes.
because you were driving anyway, so you could use a passenger.
Yeah, it's always nice to have a second person in the car.
Even if it's a nagging one.
Yes.
So, of course, what are you doing, Thomas?
I'm doing nothing. I'm just listening to you, telling your interesting tale. His eyes are stuck.
Right.
It's the eyes.
So yeah, I didn't have anything in advance. I just went to the convention and looked around. I had taken on something like 70 or 75 euro because I'm really super broke. So I couldn't do like big splurges of money.
Well, I didn't splurge as well. I think I spent like 80.
Yeah, but you did it all in advance.
I did it in advance.
If you were to buy all the things you bought, it was like at least 200 euros.
Yeah, it's true.
Anyway, so I was looking
200.
around. I saw things I liked. Always, that's always the case. You always see things you like. For example, the dinosaur from the Dino Riders T-Rex. I saw there was a guy last year or 2 years ago. I bought a Super Famicom, and I still only had like 2 games for it. So I was on the lookout for like maybe a cool Super Famicom game, but either the good titles were all 2025, and then there was one guy who wanted 20 for like a whole stack, like 10 games. So I was like, wow, this is my chance to pimp my collection. They were all like, I don't know, like Derby Stallion.
It's always like that.
Football games. There was one good title, SimCity, but even then, I'm never gonna play SimCity in Japanese.
No, it's like
never. I don't even. Does it work on a SNES? Is there a SNES mouse as well?
Yeah, but it doesn't work on SimCity.
Oh. So of course it only works on Mario Paint.
Yeah, but there are other games that work with the mouse, but like SimCity predates the mouse. So yeah.
Anyway,
but I believe it's actually I have a box copy of SimCity for the SNES, but never played it, of course. But apparently it's pretty playable.
Okay, yeah, but the good thing, and well, the bad thing, the good thing was that I didn't buy it, but the bad thing was he said I want all the games for 20. I mean he didn't want to sell like just a good title for 5.
No,
because then he would have been stuck. And I said there's no way that Eva is gonna let me walk in with 10 crappy Japanese
Derby
games.
Stallion. But you can buy these lots on eBay like with 200 games for like 200 euros.
Really?
But they're all shit titles like Pachinko. Yeah.
Anyway, so what did I buy? So I did the whole. Thomas, you're really obsessed with these figures.
Yes, it's true.
I did the whole convention. I did the whole haul. And then I thought, okay, so now I've seen everything. What do I really want? What do I really need? So there was just one thing. So one of the members from also your Facebook group, Renzo,
where about Saturn games?
Yeah, Renzo Champion. He had The Goonies for the Famicom. Complete in box, complete with manual.
Can I see?
No, you can't. So of course, as you guys know or may not know, I'm like the biggest Belgian Goonie fan. My license plate is Goonies. I'm the webmaster of the Goonies.be. So I try to collect all Goonies merchandise. Thomas, I told you no. Thomas.
Can I open it, please?
Why do you want to open
I want to show it.
You're a monster. It's very hard to get it back in the box.
I will succeed.
No, I will. So I asked Enzo, it's like, okay, so I get it. I'm guessing you're not a Goonies fan. How do you end up with a complete boxed Famicom copy of the Goonies? This one was never released in Europe, only the sequel. And he said, yeah, I just bought a lot of Famicom games. So he wanted 30, and I told him, well, I'm super broke, so I want this, but 30 is a lot of money. And then he said, oh yeah, but you're a friend of Thomas. Yeah, that's like an eye-opener. That's like
you can suck some good cup.
Nepotism.
Yeah.
So he said like, yeah, I can do a discount. How about 20? Which is a really good discount because like, it's like 30% off. So I'm really happy with the 20 euro I spent. So this will go nicely in my collection. And I promised to Enzo, and I'm really going to keep my promise. That's the way I roll. I promised Enzo I'm going to put it in my collection and then take a photo and then show you where his good deed ended up. And then as we were as we were leaving because Thomas had to go and be somewhere. Yeah, it's true.
Home.
with Anne, with Hughes.
We were all too late already.
Yeah. So we were running late, and there was just one final hall or one final stand that I wanted to check. And I said, Thomas, I saw they have Aladdin for Mega Drive, but I'm not sure. Is it a bootleg? Is it a real one? Because he just wanted 5, and I know it's not a rare game at all. But as you know, it's a good game, and good games tend to fetch higher prices. So it's like a 15 euro game now, complete in box with the manual. So I found it for 5. Thomas said, yeah, it's a real copy. It's an original one. So 5 is really like in 2019. That's a really good price. The only thing missing is the cover from the manual, but I'm not going to complain about that. And perhaps
it's a good game as well.
It's really a good. It's one of the best. I mean, it's especially if you consider movie-based games. I think it's up there in the top 5. I mean, it's really a really playable, fun. It looks like the movie. It's really gorgeous graphics. Yeah, it's just a good game. And then
I think I sold my copy for 8.
So why did you sell yours?
Because I had a double one.
Double. Okay. You still have one.
Yeah, I still have my original copy.
And then I saw a guy selling Dreamcast.
I even had, sorry. No, I'm not going to say
Yeah, do.
I was going to say I have the box Sega, but it's the Lion King one I have.
Oh yeah, that's so cool. I saw it. You do have it. Is there an Aladdin Mega Drive?
I think there's a...
The Lion King must have been also really old. Really, let's say at the tail end of the console's life, because it was 94, December 94 that the game came out. And in 94 there was already the Saturn in Belgium.
Yeah, but the price difference you can't compare. Like, for example, the Mega Drive in 1996, you still had pack deals with the Mega Drive and some games, and it was like 100 euros.
Yeah, sure.
And the Saturn was 400 or 300.
Yeah, but I just
for
want to
children,
say,
yeah.
Of course, but it baffles me that, I know, it doesn't really baffle me that in 94 the Mega Drive was already 4 years old. And then to have such high profile releases as in make a new boxed one with the artwork, the cool artwork, with the game, that must have been like something that Disney perhaps wanted to push, because I remember the Mega Drive Lion King sold a lot more copies than the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, probably,
It's also the one you always find. You always find the Lion King on Mega Drive, and you almost never find it for SNES. So it's like probably like a very big selling title for Christmas. So a guy next to the Aladdin stand, he had like 10 Dreamcast games. As you guys know, Dreamcast games are very hard to find in Europe.
Yeah, especially for the
PAL version. Right, that's what I meant. The European version. Yeah. You once did an episode of a guy calling you, and then you did a live video of you biking to the store. Yeah, it's just.
Also Bart.
He always hooks me up. You just never find Dreamcast games in the wild. Well, almost never. I mean,
no, in the wild it's
really hard. Also because they just didn't sell well in Belgium.
Well,
did you know anyone who had a Dreamcast back in the day? I didn't know anyone.
Two of my buddies actually bought one at the tail end of the Dreamcast Live, because then you could already copy the games, and everybody was like just burning Virtua Tennis.
Yeah, I really regret. Yeah, but it's just in hindsight you can regret everything. But for example, I remember in 2001, so the Dreamcast had already stopped production. Sorry, I'm lying. 2002, the GameCube had already come out. And me and my class for school, we were going to France for like a weekend, something
something French.
Yeah, no, just something. Yeah, a few days of France with school. And I remember we were going to the supermarkets, like a big Carrefour, like a really hyper one.
Yeah.
And they had, of course, they had the PlayStation 2, they had the GameCube, and they also had like I vividly remember a Dreamcast, one of those cool packs, also with like I think Virtua Striker, Sonic Adventure, and Crazy Taxi, like 3 good games in just €99. Just why didn't I buy it? Because I was just 17. We were going with school.
Everybody would have said, "Oh, what did you buy?"
Yeah. Anyway, it's hard to find them in Belgium. Guy had them, 10 games, all 5 apiece, so that's a good price.
In hindsight, I should have bought that Urban
Why didn't you?
I thought I already had it, but now I'm not sure.
And as I told Thomas, €5 is a great price, because the boxes tend to break very easily if you just look at them. So even if you just find the box for $5, that's a good price. Even if the game is bad, you can swap it with a game that's, for example, broken and a good game. So this one,
the cases are notoriously bad for breaking.
They always break. So this one looks really good. It's like minty fresh. It's
Hydro Thunder,
and it's a good game. I remember playing it back in the day, even sometimes in the arcade. It has like the most enthusiastic announcer ever. Hydro Thunder!
You could like jump through like the forest, the leaves, and then you would take a shortcut.
It's just a good game. It looks good. It still looks good.
It's also at the end of like arcades. I mean, it's really the tail end for us in Belgium, at least.
Which is weird, because just in Kalken, this is a good thing to end on. So €5, very happy with this. Very, very happy. Also funny that the owner put the disc. Now the disc is not included, but the disc was in here in the back.
At the back side.
Which is weird, because I would never do that.
Sometimes the pins break off, and then they put it on the other side.
Anyway, it's not included because it's in my Dreamcast at home, which I couldn't fire up. Very big frustration. But that's a story for another day.
I still have some small things to show.
Yeah, sure. Sorry.
No, continue.
In Kalken, there was something that crossed my mind, because you just mentioned the end of the arcades in Belgium. Well, we never had a big arcade tradition in Belgium, never to begin with. But
apparently, according to David, it's because of the taxes. Like, you had to pay because they considered it gambling in Belgium, because you can win something like an extra life, you know how the governments are. So they had to pay an extraordinary amount of taxes on the arcade machines. That's why it didn't.
It never caught on fire. So what did I want to mention? I saw a GameCube copy of F-Zero GX, and as you know, you could take your save game to the arcade. But on the Dutch copy, they even mention that. So there's like a blurb. There's like a balloon, a text balloon. It says, "Take your save game to the arcade and play F-Zero AX." And I was thinking, in 2005, where could you find an arcade in Belgium that had F-Zero?
Yeah, of course. I think in Antwerp, the last arcade was at the cinema in the center. You had like I remember when the Phantom Menace was released, they still had like the Phantom Menace.
Really? Where was the arcade? In the UGC.
In the UGC cinema.
I don't remember that.
When you enter through the supermarket entrance on the right side, the left.
I don't remember that.
Now it's a restaurant or something, or simply.
But that's the thing. Sometimes you still find arcades. For example, mostly in like theme parks or in sun parks or in center parks, like water paradises.
Yeah.
Probably because they have like different tax regulations, because it's like a theme park.
And they also earn that much money from.
But so that's like the only place you can still find arcades. But even then, all the arcade machines are at least 20 years old.
No, it's not true. Like with my work in my previous job, we went to one of these parks I don't remember which one. And they had the last Afterburner Climax game, which is also on PS3.
Well, even then, the ones I visit, let's say like once in 2 years, in every 2 years, it's always like the Time Crisis from 99, the Daytona USA, the Terminator 2. So.
But when I went to England on the boat, there was like a pretty modern arcade with very modern games, but nobody was playing. It was really sad to see. Like even the children weren't like when we were kids. Like we were like
glued to
the machines.
Now it's just all iPads.
Nobody was there. I was like playing with some Rambo because it was like a modern Rambo shooter.
But still, my point being, why would you advertise F0AX on a Belgian copy of F0GX?
Maybe in the Netherlands they still had more. I don't know.
If anyone knows the answer, was there ever an F0AX in the Benelux?
Probably.
I don't know.
Probably yes, but
one. I don't know where.
Well, the David will know.
That concludes my picks.
Well, you remember I went to the free comic book day to pick a free comic book for somebody, and I gave it to him at Kalken, and he gave me some sweet rewards for helping him out. First up, this really strange looking Mega Man. He kind of looks like a Muppet from the Muppet Show.
Perhaps it is. Perhaps it is a Muppet.
No,
it's like a South Park Mega Man, perhaps.
Yeah, or South Park Mega Man.
It really looks like Monster Factory.
And he also gave me Sonic Dance Power 5, which probably we forgot to put it down in the cover.
Oh, that should have been on Do you know what this reminds me of as well? Do you know the Belgian comic Game Over? Do you know that?
Pedal Kit.
Well, no, Kid Pedal.
Yeah.
It's a spin-off from Kid Pedal.
Yeah, sure.
Well, this guy really resembles the guy from Game Over.
So the cool thing about this CD is not the music, but you can still win a Sega Saturn if you complete the competition.
I do have
And he also gave me a Mario PES, which expired in 2016. But it's pure sugar.
Sorry. You gotta hear this. So you can win a Sega Saturn, and these are the 3 questions. Okay, so the first one is, where did you first hear about the Sega Saturn? Okay. Second one is,
actually I first heard about the Sega Saturn in the Game Mania store in Deurne. They had like a sticker advertisement on the windows, Sega Saturn, like
in '95.
With the price. Like I remember.
Do you remember the price?
It was, I think, 16,000. It was a lot. I remember seeing the amount and I was like, oh shit.
Then the second question
is, buy a house with this money.
Second question is, what's your favorite TV station? And then the third one is the best question. Are you able to play all 5 Sonic Dance CDs on the Sega Saturn? Yes/no.
Yes.
And then you had to say the Sega Saturn is, and then there's a dotted line. The 11 most original entries will have their chance to win a Sega Saturn, plus a video game Daytona USA and a video card, so they could play the video CDs.
Which was really expensive also at the time.
Yeah, and then there was there were a few other prizes: Sonic Jacks, T-shirts, pins, etc., and also a Saturn video game CD. Dega Rally, so not Sega Rally, but Dega Rally.
It's typo probably.
How sad is that? In an official Sonic game manual, CD manual.
Well, you say official, but nowhere does it say Sega on this thing.
This is official. No. This is really.
Look at the back of the box. It says.
Yeah, but this is really. I remember.
Yeah, of course it's official, but it's not released by Sega. It's released by, and there's also a commercial for the Backstreet Boys.
I wanted to show it.
But it's my CD.
Yeah, monster.
I'm not a monster. You're a monster. You're bald.
You're so rude. Yeah, but how funny is that? That if you're going to advertise Sonic and then you advertise the Saturn, of course, and then you advertise the Backstreet Boys. What do the Backstreet Boys have to do with Sonic?
But back then they were still cool.
They're still cool. Any famous songs on there?
I don't know.
Tokyo Ghetto Pussy. Okay.
Suppose you buy the CD.
Hey, Fatal's Insomnia. Now that's a classic.
That's a classic.
Oh my, what a classic. Oh, and Skilo with I Wish. I love that song. I wish I was a little bit tall. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a rabbit and a girl I would call her.
I also have like a Donkey Kong Country CD which
Country.
is country, which is also like just a
Yeah.
compilation of.
It's so weird. There was a thing in the 90s. I have a few Flintstone CDs. You ever never do it?
Yeah, and you also had the
Why?
Smurf CDs.
Yeah, well, what was it? They just want to release crappy dance CDs with franchise
Smurfs.
figures?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So at the end of the day, at lunchtime, we went to the Burger King, and Julian took the equivalent of a Happy Meal. I don't know what the name is at Burger King.
Yeah, like a Burger Kid meal.
Burger King, a King meal.
Kid meal.
And
Kid meal.
he got this Bulbasaur from
Quite cool, actually. It's from the new movie.
from the new movie, but he didn't want it, so
Detective Pikachu.
Detective Pikachu. So he gave it to me, which is nice. Thank you, Julian.
I know. Thomas likes figurines. His
So
wife,
it's pretty
his
nice.
wife is a figurine too. He hasn't been able to find a real wife.
Yes.
Are you going to give it to your son?
Well, he already played with it, but the thing is, he never wants what you give to him. He always wants the things that you don't give him. So it's kind of annoying.
So just give him.
I tried to sell him this Mega Man, and he didn't want it. It's like retarded Mega Man. No siree.
Oh wait! That's really a word you shouldn't use. It's,
Mentally
challenged.
disabled, mentally challenged Mega Man.
Really, in the USA, you can lose your job if you call someone
you're a retard.
the R word. Stop saying it. You have a lot of American viewers.
Not a lot. We have 25 viewers.
You have a lot of. Do we nerd?
Okay, so that's it, I guess.
Yeah, we had a marathon session of 3 episodes.
Yeah.
We were very tired.
Crazy.
Thomas didn't sleep because of his son, and I didn't sleep because of stuff I had to do. Currently, I'm doing something fun actually. I'm designing a wedding invitation for a friend of mine.
Wow, that's nice.
So I'm drawing him and his future wife. It reminds me of the room. Yeah, my future wife.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying fiance, he told me about so I was like, my future wife. So yeah, that's fun. But I'm the last few weeks I'm not sleeping very well. It's,
You're stressed,
a
though.
lot of stuff on my mind. And you, of course, have your son that's keeping you awake.
Well, the thing is, now he's like, how long have you been here? An hour or something?
An hour and a half, perhaps. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's been sleeping like a baby. But yesterday, every hour he wakes up, and then like around 12, you still fall asleep. But passing the 1 hour, it's like it's getting harder to fall back asleep, and you're lying there waiting for morning.
So, guys, that concludes our massive pickups. We are exhausted.
Yes.
I'm really falling asleep. I can't seem to
You
form
still
my
have to
words.
drive.
Yeah, I'm gonna crash.
Crash and burn.
But then,
I can
at
take
least-
the parasite from your dead body.
because you're a parasite.
Yeah. Yoink.
It's parasite, by the way.
Parasite Eve too. From your cold dead hands.
Wouldn't it be funny if no, it's not funny, but just, no, it's not funny, but just the idea that the last thing I ever did in life was recording a 16-bit video. It's like, and then Thomas would say on him and deliver a eulogy and say, well, he died doing what he loved, recording 16-bit videos.
With me. And then
taking all the credits. I'm so great, I'm so fantastic, I'm so wonderful.
Yeah.
So guys,
Smell you later.
see you next time.